She had begun her letter 3 times before midnight and torn it up 3 times after. Only the 4th attempt survived, written with a hand that wouldn't stop shaking. The lamp hummed faintly beside her, its circle of light trapping her in a quiet kind of spotlight. Beyond the wall, a man slept, snoring, turning, owning the silence. Her pen hovered above the paper. The ink spread slowly, like a bruise. "Dear," she started, then froze. "Dear who? Dear husband? Dear mother? Dear me?" She pressed harder, the nib cutting into paper, erasing the word before it could become a lie. The page was already scarred with half-sentences and surrender. She exhaled, whispering the only name that ever made sense in the dark. Ya Allah. The air shifted. Even the silence seemed to bow. She wrote again, slower this time. Ya Allah, you know. 3 words, but they felt like a heartbeat, returning after years underground. Beside her, the Quran lay open to Surat Ashura. A verse she'd read earlier still echoed through her chest. Indeed, Allah is ever hearing, ever seeing of the servants. Her trembling eased. The first line of her letter stayed on the page, refusing to be torn. Outside, a faint wind moved through the night. Inside, for the first time in months, something inside her moved too. The first time her hand trembled wasn't tonight. It was years ago, when she held a cup of milk to him, with a smile that believed love and prayer could tame any storm. The tremor then was innocence. He didn't know it would return one day as fear. In the early years, her silence was golden. She believed it was the language of patience, of faith. When he raised his voice, she lowered hers. When he slammed doors, she opened the Quran. When he left the room in anger, she waited until his footsteps softened again. At first, she told herself it was normal. Every couple fights, she thought. Every man gets angry. And every woman, if she's righteous, stays. That's what the auntie said. That's what the books implied. That's what love had taught her to survive. So she stayed. She stayed when silence became punishment, when every word had to pass through his approval before it reached daylight. She stayed when he used religion like a chain. "A woman's obedience brings barakah," he'd say, voice calm, eyes cold. And each time, she whispered the same reply. Sabr, patience. Her friends called her strong. Her mother called her steadfast. Her husband called her lucky. But alone, under the soft light of her mirror, she called herself something else. A ghost who kept pretending to live. Once, before a family dinner, she noticed a faint bruise near her collarbone. She smiled at her reflection and whispered, "Alhamdulillah, it's healing." She said it to convince herself that somewhere inside her, healing still existed. That was when the nightly ritual began. After he slept, she'd sit by the window, whispering verses into the dark. Ya Allah, give me strength to endure. Never once did she ask for strength to leave, because in her world, endurance was worship, and leaving was shame. She looked at her letter again. Ya Allah, I am patient, but I am not at peace. And for the first time, she realized she had mistaken silence for sabr, and fear for faith. She wrote, Ya Allah, they told me patience means staying quiet. They told me to bear what I cannot change. But what if the thing I cannot change is killing what you created me to be? The words startled her. She had never written truth this loud before. All her life she begged for strength to stay, never realizing she was asking Allah to bless her cage. She stared at her handwriting, fragile, uneven, but alive. Even the letters leaned forward, as if trying to escape. Ya Allah, she wrote again. I thought pain was the price of faith, but now I fear I've mistaken submission to him for surrender to you. Her throat ached. Her chest felt lighter. A line from an old lecture drifted through her memory. Patience is not standing still in the fire. It's trusting Allah as you walk through it. She breathed it in and whispered, Then teach me how to walk. Her hand steadied as she wrote, I don't know how to walk yet, Ya Allah, but I am turning toward the door. The trembling stopped completely. A soft wind slipped through the window, turning the page of the Quran beside her. A verse caught the light. And whoever relies upon Allah, He is sufficient for him. She tore a blank page, wrote down a number from memory, and folded it beneath the Quran. Her letter was no longer confession. It had become preparation. The night hadn't ended, but something in her had. She stood by the sink, cold water running over her hands. It stung, but it felt like proof she could still feel. She made wudu slowly, each motion deliberate, sacred. When she spread her prayer mat near the bed, the sound of it unfolding felt like permission. He stirred, half asleep, murmuring her name. She didn't answer. Allahu Akbar. The first verse wavered, then steadied. Her tears fell, not from fear, but from release. You saw me when no one else did, she whispered in sujud. You were my witness when I couldn't speak. So now, let my steps be my words. When she rose, her hands no longer shook. Stillness had replaced trembling. She sat quietly afterward, the air before dawn humming with expectation. Her phone lay face down on the table. For years, it had been her silence. Tonight, it would be her witness. She opened her mother's message. Are you okay, Beti? Her thumbs moved slowly. I'm coming home for a few days. Please don't ask why. Just make dua. Send. No lightning. No music. Just breath. But in that moment, something irreversible had happened. She had moved. She folded her prayer mat, whispered, Ya Allah, guide my steps. Let the morning find me standing. The first adhan began outside, soft, melodic, certain, and she listened, with a heart awake. The sky was the color of forgiveness, blue folding into gray, light touching every quiet corner. She didn't dread morning anymore. The adhan's echo lingered as if blessing the air she now owned. She walked to her table. The letter still lay open. She read the lines once more. Ya Allah, you know, I thought pain was the price of faith. Let my steps be my words. She tore the page carefully, folded it, and placed it beneath the open Quran, not as a goodbye, but as testimony. Then she packed, quietly, deliberately, a few clothes, her prayer mat, her Quran, nothing else. At the door, she hesitated, then whispered, Bismillah, and stepped out. The hallway glowed faintly with morning light. Her footsteps echoed, soft, certain, alive. Outside, the air smelled of rain. A bird cut across the sky, free and fearless. She didn't know what awaited her, but she knew who did. Back inside, the Quran remained open. A breeze turned the final page, revealing one line written in trembling ink. Even silence is heard by the one who sees. The light grew stronger, erasing the shadows, filling the room where she had once lived small. And somewhere between that page and the rising sun, her silence became prayer. The hand that once trembled did not anymore.